Hello everyone! Hi! How are you doing? Are you ready for the fanfic reading stream? Ooh, we have a different background too. I thought it would be nice to change the background, especially because it's fanfic reading night. Or at least it's like evening for me anyways. How are you doing? Hello LP, hello Neo, hi Weiss, hi Cryo, hi Doka. Hello, hello, hello Sarai. Hello Anastasia, we're showing your fanfic by the way. Right here, you can see Ness, it's yours first. Yeah, that's why I have a heart rate monitor to see will my heart go up at the sheer cringe. Yeah, I'm ready. Are you ready? Got my hand on my hip, ready to read this fanfiction. And then if we're done the fanfiction, then we can read do the hell stages in Arknights, if by some miracle we finish it. But I think we have about 9 submissions, so I think it's gonna take a while. How bad, bro? I don't know. I'm going to all of this blind. My mods read through them for me to like check them, but you know, Ian reading impossible? No, Jintako. Today it is possible. Are you ready? Oh, good luck, Cryo. That's okay, Doka. You get to experience other people and what they have written. So let me just move my screen over there. Hello, Roman. Hello. Okay, let me see. So, like I said, I have not read any of this. So I'm going to spline. I'm not going to show the fanfic on the screen. It's because I want you to see my face. But we'll read this together. Cringe intentionally? Perfect. That's even better. My little brother's home, so I'm so sorry to him. I'm so sorry to him. But yes. Let's start. I got like half a cup of water. I might drink some more. I might get more water. Yes, it's all mod approved. Are you ready, guys? Let's start. So this one is by our lovely mod, NS Ness. You ready? A conversation by NS Ness / Fluffy Haru. There's a disclaimer. This one says, in all caps, disclaimer. This was written to be extremely melodramatic in the molds of bad 2010 fanfics. Side effects of this may include cringe, disgust, sighs, and disappointment. Read at your own risk. Okay, there's your warning. You know, that brings a lot of nostalgia of reading fanfiction in 2010. Let's see. You ready? The sky was dark. The moon was full. Looking through a window stood Uriel in her office, looking out from the landship. You seem distressed, Dr. Uriel, the feline said. His shiny new outfit from his last visit to the troupe flowing magnificently as he appeared behind her. I just started already cracking up. Okay. Hello, Aki. Okay. Don't spoil, okay? Lots of things on my mind, Lucian. The last battle really took a toll on me, she said, looking at him from the corner of her eyes. Those chimeras were a nightmare. It was miserable. Is this based on like CCB3 with the chimeras? If it is, that's amazing. Lucian looked at her, a stern gaze washing over Uriel. It's so weird saying my own name. But with your leadership, we managed to do it. You should be proud of that. Like giggling. Uriel turned her head to look at him, taking in the sights of his new attire, her mind rushing with thoughts about how beautiful he looked. Even though I relied on you too much. This is totally based on CCB3. More rely on him too much, more like only relied on him. You can always rely on me. It's what I'm here for, Lucian said, his gentle voice making Uriel smile. We are scene partners after all. Sorry guys, you're gonna hear me like laugh after every sentence. This peak, guys, is so peak. You're way too good to me. I wonder why. She responded, her voice filled with doubt, wondering if he'll ever see her in the same way as she does him. Let's say your script is very interesting, Uriel, and I'm very keen on seeing where its writers take your life next. Lucian reached for Uriel's face, gently caressing her cheek. I do have a question for you, if you don't mind. Uriel's mind was filled with possible questions Lucian could ask. Would he ask her out? Was it about work? About something else? About her past? About Priestess? About her collection of plushies that look weirdly similar to him? Whoa. Ennis, Ness, do you have a picture of my room? I'm like glancing at my drawer and there's like... Sorry, I have my trackies not checking it, but I have four phantom plushes. I have 4 phantom plushes on my shelf as we speak. How did you know? I even have the Phantom Crimson Solitaire box on my shelf. Okay, let's go back. Don't dox me. This is against rules. Okay, let's continue. Do you enjoy my company? Lucian said, making Uriel freeze on the spot. Well, I'm sure you're going to say yes. I'm very aware I'm not the most uplifting person to be around. So I always wait for you to assign another operator as your personal assistant. One who can brighten your day. Yet you never do. I haven't done that for like a year, man. Oh, actually, no, I'm kidding. I think I switched it a little bit when like Changwei was out. But since then, I haven't switched from Lucian, okay? Just so you know. Uriel looked back at the night sky through the window. It's complicated, but don't worry. Your company is the one I enjoy the most. I see, Lucian answered, a faint hint of a smile at the corner of his lips. In that case, I'm glad, and I'll see you in the next assignment. Lucian turned to leave, but Uriel gently held his hand. Do you mind staying with me for a while? She said, looking at him with a smile. Lucian nodded, raising Uriel's hand and giving it a kiss, making her blush. As you wish, Doctor. Oh my gosh, I hit my knee against the desk. Oh my gosh. Okay, a real fan would never... No, I know, I don't replace anymore, okay? I don't replace... No. I'm committed now. I will never replace him. Like, it'll just be him? Lucian. Only Lucian. Okay. Uriel sat back down on her chair, starting to look at some operator paperwork, though the blush in her face remained. Lucian, I've been thinking about something. Your new outfit, it's not the usual clothes I see you wear. You got it from your last visit to the troupe, right? She asked, causing Lucian to nod. Mind explaining the story behind it? Lucian gave her a soft smile. It's sort of a tragedy, and once I'm used to it, I'll show you what this new version of me can do. Have you finally decided to show me your singing? She smiled, her eyes still on the paperwork. Soon, Doctor. Soon. Why soon? Why not show it to me now? She asked, curious about his motives. It's not time to act or die, Doctor, he answered, making her even more confused. This is getting meta now. This is getting meta here. Okay. Act or die? What does that mean? You'll know when the time comes, and I'm certain you'll enjoy it fully. You know, Lucian, your cryptic ways confuse me, but I find them endearing in a way, she said, taking her eyes off of the paperwork and looking at him. Can I ask you a question? And please try not to answer it with a riddle or poem, just answer me straight. No promises, Doctor, he answered, making Uriel let out a small chuckle. Fine, if I wanted to ask you out on a mission, or if I want to ask you out, not on a mission or a job. But she hesitated, unsure if she should go on as a date. Would you accept? Lucian stared at her for a few moments, a hint of a smile on his face. It's surprising to me that it took you this much time to ask me out. He gently brushed her cheek with his hand. I don't understand your reasons. Whoever writes them doesn't make it a simple script to understand, but as your scene partner, my answer is none other than, I accept. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's so... Oh my gosh, it's not over, it's not over, there's still a couple lines yet. Okay. Uriel froze, unsure if she heard it right. Wait, really? 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 You're having a crisis. Yeah, sorry. I just didn't expect you to accept, and she started rambling, her mind racing with numerous thoughts, her halo spinning above her head. Charming, he said with a smile. When we arrived at our next destination, let's go for a walk and find ourselves a nice restaurant. Uriel's rambling stopped, and even though she wanted to say many things, all she could manage to let out was okay. That was amazing. Oh my gosh, round of applause. Okay. That was peak. 100 out of 10. Would read again. That was so peak. Thank you, NSNES. I am blessed by that. That was so good. Okay, let's see who is next. Okay. Cringe. That's the point. You know? You loved writing it? I'm so glad. I loved reading it. Okay, let's do the next one now. The next one is it's by Syra. You are next. This one is time. Okay, I will adjust that later. By Syra. Just there. Boom. Time with your favorite operator by Syra. Okay, let me drink some water. The other ones are even better. Okay, let me look for this one. Gotta make sure I got the right one. Okay. There we go. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure, because sometimes the title does not... Okay, there we go, found it. Why is the file called I'm Not Sorry? I'm not actually sorry at all. That's a file name. Ooh, bye Bill. Enjoy it later. Okay. Drunk writing? The best. It's okay, Doka. This whole stream is gonna be brain rot. Okay. Lucian walks into the doctor's office. Though there are usually many operators at this time, the workroom was reserved for only him and the doctor to talk. Dr. Uriel, is now a good time? He asked, still standing by the door in case he need to leave. Of course, the doctor replied. Thanks for not jumping out of the shadows behind me like always, though I don't really mind. Are you sure, doctor? You look quite busy. And Lucian was right. On the doctor's desk were stacks upon stacks of files, each labeled differently on the cover. Some examples were video ideas, contingency contract strategies. As you go further along the desk, the files only get thicker and thicker. New outfit designs, new games to play / stream, commissions, emergency Phantom Alter funds. Phantom Alter. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. If he gets outfit, I'm buying that. If he's in like you know, if he's in what was it? Enfield. I'll play Enfield. I'm not playing Enfield, but if he's on it, you know? And ooh, I haven't played Fake in a while, Doka. But yeah, Alter when? Yeah, Alter only for Phantom. Only for Phantom. Okay, continuing. Photos of Miss Christine, Lucian outfit ideas. Rituals of Phantom Alter gets a 24 OP outfit. You aren't wrong. Lucian's sleeping footage from the hidden cameras in his room. You're not wrong. I'm joking. The last ones. Lucian spoke up. Are those? Nothing! As the doctor shouted, shoving the papers aside and away from view, with a culpable look on her face, along with a nervous laugh. They're nothing. Don't worry about those. She clears her throat with a loud to relieve the existing tension left in the room. So what did you need of me, Lucian? And like I've always said, just Uriel's fine. There's no need to call me doctor. Of course. Dr. Uriel. Don't worry, Lucian. We can work on that as we go, Uriel said, ever the optimist when talking to her operators. What did you need me for? It's quite the hefty block of time you sectioned out on my schedule. Uriel was right. 2 hours of time that Lucian had the doctor all to himself. Ooh la la. Ooh la la. Nah man, Wolfguard doesn't scratch the same itch as Phantom does. Doesn't matter if they look alike, you know? Even if Phantom had a twin, you know, I would still go with OG. Okay. Lucian looked nervous when Uriel asked, It's something only you can fulfill, if that's alright with you. Uriel's mind started to race. Only me? She thought to herself. Surely Miss Christine would usually be enough to fulfill Lucian's social needs. What is that sad? Bro, I'm dissing my man here. Nevertheless, a good doctor cares for her operators. And the work on her desk could always wait a bit longer. Let's go, she said, standing out of her chair and walking towards both the door and Lucian. Where's our first stop? As Lucian scanned the room, he noticed the tea kettle was empty and packs of instant noodles were filling the trash. And how did you know what I ate yesterday? How did you know I ate some instant noodles? Maybe something to eat first, he told her, if that's okay with you. It's kind of scary how well you guys know me as I read these fanfics. Oh no, I couldn't possibly take all the time you reserved me for to eat. It's about you after all. Besides, I've been eating through the days anyways. She said that, but as she started to walk right next to Lucian, a loud growl filled her office. How did you know I didn't eat lunch, Sarai? Look me in the eyes. How did you know I only eat breakfast today? I'm hungry as we speak. How did you know? Okay, anyways. Let's continue. My request can wait. The health of my doctor cannot. Come with me. Lucian paused after he said that, then looked right at the doctor, only to look away before he started to open his mouth again. Your happiness is my happiness after all. Uriel couldn't look at Lucian either. Despite his smooth words, her mind began to wander. Is Lucian acting a bit strange? Despite his smooth words, her mind began to wander. Is Lucian acting a bit strange? There was no time to think about this. This though. I'm getting like, well, I need to scoot in my chair for this. I need to lock in. Wait, hold up. Scoot in my chair. Okay, I need good posture for this, guys. Okay. Whew. 2 hours isn't very long in the day, and though she would never tell the other operators, Lucian was always her favorite. These 2 hours would be a good break after a long day of work. The cafeteria shouldn't take so long. I won't take up too much of your time, she said with a smile on her face to her favorite operator. Uriel and Lucian walk out of the doctor's office. Though the walk from the office to the cafeteria is only 5 minutes on paper, it takes much longer than it should. First, they have to go through the corridor to the main part of the landship. As the two walk out onto the hallway, the normally bright lit clearing was now full of red lasers, drones, cameras, and potatoes. Potatoes? Oh my gosh, let me just adjust my mic a little bit. There we go. Okay, potatoes. Oh my gosh! Neo, thank you so much. Thank you. Oh no. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Neo. And Doka, good luck with Fake Grand Order as well. You're great. How about you? What's your role, Neo? What's your role? Thank you so much. Okay, next. I didn't expect a donation here. Oh, thank you. Wait, where was I reading? You know, the mods are on my walls probably. They probably know exactly where I am. Okay, let's continue. Okay. We are here. I really should have told Wishida and Federico to stop with the traps, huh? And those cameras, they're from Gravel and Shirayuki? And the drones too. I'll let Closure know next time that I'm protected enough. Uriel was thinking aloud to herself. She was also thinking how the traps were unnecessary. A real threat is always internal, but she can keep that thought to herself. You're pretty fast, Lucian. Go on ahead. I can step through all these... Just, give me a bit. She would have wanted to spend as much time with Lucian as possible, but it can't be helped. Her operators just want her safe. After all, so how mad could you really be? When Lucian walked into the doctor's office, he dashed past all the traps without a trace. It was his specialty after all. There's no need, Doctor, Lucian told her, as he summoned his clone next to Uriel. Oh, ooh la la. You don't know Neil? Well, you're an amazing person. That's who you are. You're an amazing person, and I'm always happy to see you in the chat. And in Discord. That's what you are. If she had another mod, it'd be under the floor. Oh no, maybe not under the floor. My floors are kind of creaky, maybe that's why. Okay. What do you... Uriel yelled as the clone carried her in its arms, while the clone princess carried Uriel across the hall. She closed her eyes, scared of the speed, but trusting that Lucian would never put her in harm's way. As her eyes were closed, though, she couldn't help but think, it's like Lucian's carrying me, right? Though the clone wasn't as warm to the touch as her favorite feline would be, she could only smile at the idea. As the clone stopped moving, Uriel's eyes were still closed. Are you okay, Dr. Uriel? You might not be used to moving like that. Apologies if it was too sudden, Lucian said to Uriel. The doctor, still entranced in her fantasies, didn't respond. Doctor? Lucian started to tap on her shoulders. Oh, Lucian, sorry, Uriel mumbled, still unable to focus on the real world. I'm fine, thank you so much. Lucian held out his hand for the doctor. Come, he said. There's no time to waste. I'm so curious where this is going. Okay. Uriel grabbed the hand in front of her. Though she already knew how soft Lucian's clothes were from his clone, the warmth of his hand felt much better than the clone would have ever been. Yeah, I thought of that too. I should be wholesome. It was definitely intended to be wholesome, but I'm just thinking of like the Ian Phantom like voice line said like out of context, his English line just going like, I come from the shadows. Okay. Back. Okay. Focus, lock in. Okay. Thank you, Lucian, she said, as her feet touched the ground. Even though she wanted to, she couldn't look Lucian in the eyes, not while her indulgent thoughts still roamed in her mind. Oh my gosh, that's scary. I was literally having indulgent thoughts. Think nothing of it, Doctor. Come, our time is short. The curtains are about to fall. Though Lucian still had lots of time between him and the doctor, every second mattered in his eyes. Though the walk shouldn't have taken much time, it felt like the doctor was stopped at every moment. Leaders like Calcit or Amia stopping her to talk about Rhodes Island logistics. Mechanics like Eunectus or Stainless telling her all about the latest inventions. Or simply elite operators like Blaze or Logos telling the doctor all about their last operation. When the doctor gets to the cafeteria, she's stopped once again by the likes of Gummy and Kyobe, who are always in the kitchen, for different reasons of course. Only until Uriel and Lucian sit to eat in a secluded part of the landship could they have time to themselves. Sorry, Lucian, the doctor spoke up. I know you reserved this time out just for the two of us. Out of the 2 hours you needed, there's only 40 minutes left. I won't take too long to eat though. Afterwards, well, I hope 30 minutes is enough time. I'll make the time up for you though, I promise. Though nothing was really her fault, she could only feel a bit bad for how the day went. Think nothing of it, Doctor. 30 minutes is enough time. As long as you're healthy and full of energy, nothing will go wrong. And Lucian looks away from the doctor. This is something only you can fulfill for me. Oh my gosh! That is so wild. I can't. Okay. Let me drink water. Calm. 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 My cheeks hurt from like smiling so much. It's so funny. Okay. There it is again. Only the doctor, he says. Uriel's mind starts to race. What is so irreplaceable to Lucien? What could a feline who lived with only his adored Miss Christine for 9 years needs from someone like the doctor? What is so important that Lucy needed 2 hours from the doctor face to face? As her mind begins to wander, she doesn't even notice that she finished her food. Are you ready, Dr. Uriel? Lucien asked. Uriel snaps back to the feline in front of her. Oh, yes, of course. If you don't mind me asking, where are we going? We'll be going to my living quarters. We'll be needing the privacy away from the rest of the landship. I'm just ready for the end of the stream to be like something wholesome, like just absolute like cock blocking, like misdirection, or like a Phantom going like, oh, by the way, here's my boyfriend Shayla, by the way. Or something. This is okay. Ooh la la. Your dorm? The doctor asked. Uriel thought about that sentence over and over in her head. Privacy? What for? Her mind was full of curiosity and excitement. What else could a doctor want than time with their favorite operator after all? Of course, she said. Lead the way, Lucien. The two of them walk into Lucien's room together. The doctor's hood was on extra tight, since she didn't want Lucien to see her face. Her thoughts were going faster than a Kuranta on a racetrack. Uma, Uma, Uma. Are you done, doctor? Lucien asked. Yes, I'm ready for anything, Lucien. What might that be? Uriel spoke under her breath, her voice even more muffled from the hood hiding her face. Don't worry, doctor. Or rather, Uriel. I'll be gentle. I would hate to hurt you. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be wholesome, right? You're a mod, you know it has to be wholesome. Okay. Calm heart, calm. Deep breath. Lucien paused. Your happiness is my happiness. Uriel could only close her eyes and wait for Lucien's first move. When in these moments her mind would usually wander, she could only focus on one thing and one thing only, her favorite feline and operator. The Lucien that would protect her from danger. The Lucien that went through so much to lead to this moment now. The Lucien she spent time with and hopes to only have more time for him in the future. Are you okay, Uriel? You don't have to close your eyes. I'm used to an audience. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Eh? The doctor wondered before opening her eyes, only to see Lucien on the other side of the room, pulling out the chair from his desk. Come, sit, Lucien said, his hand gesturing towards the chair. As you know, my voice controls the shadows around me, but it can also have more lethal uses. Throughout my operations, the only one to hear my voice so often is you, Uriel. Using these arts for my targets, I have no problem with, but I would loathe to hurt another operator of Rhodes Island. Here, Lucien took something out of his outfit, a pair of earplugs made from the Rhodes Island Engineering Department. Put these on, and I'll sing a soft melody. Oh my gosh. Uriel, whose mind still wasn't fully there, grabbed the plugs from Lucien's hand and sat down. She put them in her ears and nodded her head to tell Lucien that he could start. As Lucien started to sing, though she could barely hear it, she could only smile. Lucien singing cantabile. Of course it's cantabile, of course. Of course Syra would make the song cantabile. Real word, look it up. For her, and her alone. Though maybe it didn't go how she thought it would. What could be better than spending time with your favorite operator. Yay! Thank you, thank you. Okay, yay. Cantabile mentioned. What kind of earplugs are those? I don't know. Just the normal squishy ones that you like twist and put in your ear. Hey yo. And we're doing an order of submission. So whatever's submitted, I just read that one next. Let me just blow my nose. It is amazing. Yes. Okay. Sorry, my nose is runny. Whoa, that was an emotional read. Okay. Let's see the next one. The next one is... Oh. Oh, this one is fan art. Ooh, we got fan art. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me... Before I open the fan art, let me type this in. Okay, this one is... I can't believe we got fan art here. I didn't expect any. I think my mods did tell me there was one. I totally forgot. Oh my gosh, I'm excited. Hold up. Fan art. Okay, this is called Angel and her beloved cat with a little cat face, cute, by Stern RC. Boop. Okay, let's see. Oh my gosh! Totally! I was expecting a doodle! Holy, that's... What the heck? Yo, I gotta show this. Wait. Excuse me, just let me just pull this up. Okay. Here we go. How do I add an image again? Sorry guys, just let me figure this out, guys. I'm slow. It's been a while. Okay, so was it new source? Image. Oh my gosh, this is peak. Hold up, hold on. You can even see from like the little preview. Just let me. I don't want to spoil it too much. Let me just make it very small first. Okay, hold up. I need to show you the glory. Like you can see from like the very snippet. It's like, look at that. Look at. Whoa. Just look at this. That's. Holy. You're so talented. What the heck? Stern RC, you're so freaking talented. Do you have like a Twitter or something? Like if you upload it, I'm gonna like retweet it right away, but like, thank you so much. I'm like flabbergasted. I've never done or got like a Yume ship, like self-ship art before. This is crazy. This is so peak. Look at that, guys. Wallpaper. Who knows? Can you keep in the corner for the rest of the stream? I agree, Anne. I absolutely agree. Holy RC, you are... Is Stern RC here? I don't know if they're here, but if you're watching the VOD, Stern RC, just... Thank you. Thank you so much. Just, okay, let's look at some details. Let's just admire this. I love their painting style. The lighting's so nice. The little subtle, like, rose petals. The pose is so peak. Like, look at that. Oh my gosh. Even... Miss Christine! What the... Miss Christine is so cute! Oh my gosh, even the background, the lighting, the coloring, all the details, it's so good. Okay, this is gonna be in the rest of the stream, yeah? We're just gonna make it tiny, put it right there. It's very tiny right now, but that's gonna be there for the rest of the stream, guys. I did it right. That's such a good detail. There, it's gonna be there for the rest of the stream. You're a legend, Stern RC. That is so freaking good. You're so talented. Oh my gosh. Right, if it's a wallpaper perfectly. Okay, now we know. Now we know what my wallpaper is gonna be, guys. We know what my wallpaper is gonna be. My friends might question me, but like, whatever. I don't care. Let them see. I'm gonna see. Look at this talented artist. You know. Thank you. Oh my gosh, I never get fan art, really. I never get fan art. So like, it really means a lot to me. I love seeing myself in other people's styles. So like, I'm not kidding. This is making me very emotional. Thank you. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. Words can't even describe. I need to blow my nose. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry if you hear that, guys. That. Oh my gosh. Seriously, one of my dreams as a VTuber was to get fan art of myself. So like, even though this was specifically for like a fanfic slash fan art stream, I'm like, it's like a dream come true, you know? Anyways. I'm gonna drink some water. Let's go to the next one. We're gonna admire this for the rest of the stream. Stern, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Okay, next one. This one is called... Okay, no, I shouldn't spoil it yet. Okay, let's see. I don't know if I should have the yep there. I say yep at the end of this. Okay. You deserve it all. Thank you, Roman. Okay, this one's called The Love Letter by Random. Okay. The Love Letter. I was reading a manhwa about a love letter, actually. That's pretty fun. Okay, let's see. Whoa, this one's formatted really nicely. There's even like a timestamp. Whoa. Okay, let me just... Got the last of my water here. Okay. The Love Letter. A Dr. Uriel fanfic. 1:37 p.m. Rhodes Island Landship, doctor's office. My heart feels like it's about to leap out of my chest. I've never been a stranger to pressure, even when my operator's plans went wrong at the most critical moment. I've always managed to maintain my composure and lead Rhodes Island to victory. Today is not one of those days. Oh, we got a first-person one now. Ooh. Breathe, Uriel. Breathe, I tell myself as I open the letter. Pretend I'm opening a letter, guys. As I open the letter once again, just to make sure I hadn't misunderstood anything. The letter's too blurry to read. I blink to try and focus. It doesn't work. The more I try to focus, the harder the letter becomes to read. I'm starting to feel lightheaded. Without thinking about it, I grab the side of my mask to try and steady myself. Okay, I got a mask. Okay, steadying myself. This is probably not the right mask, but whatever. Wait a minute. I grab the mask. Okay, I grab the mask again. I pull it off. A cool breeze immediately blows over my face. It's only now that I realize I've been sweating. Has it always been this hot inside the office? Part of me wishes that I could take off the heavy jacket and coat too, but that would make things very awkward for the poor operator who steps inside the office. Tara knows I already get into enough misunderstandings as it is. I look inside the mask in my hand. Just as expected, the inside of the mask is full of condensation. Was I really breathing that hard? I asked no one in particular. Hi, Silent Spirit. How many Lucian fanfics? Yes, all the Lucian fanfics. Right, the letter. I put down the mask on my desk and lift the letter against the light, just to make sure it's real and not some kind of art's illusion. Well, I can't think of any reason why someone would do that, considering the number of new operators Rhode Island is picking up seemingly every other day. It's not impossible that someone is trying to play a prank on me. Yep, it's real. Even after reading it over and over, poring over each word, I'm still not certain that I'm understanding it correctly. But the flowy handwriting, the grandiose verbiage, even the faint smell of roses emanated from the paper. My mind could only think of one person who could have written this letter. Without you, my songs will only ever end in melancholy. I beg of you, come to me, my love. Oh my gosh. I come from the shadows. It's probably a prank. Yeah, you're right. Okay, guys, let's make a prediction. I haven't read it yet. I haven't read it all. We're on page 2 of page 6. But let's make a poll right now. Is this letter a prank? Yes or no? Let's see. What do you think, guys? Give your answers in the chat. I'm gonna get some water in the meanwhile. Just be right back. I need to get some water. I need to get some water. My throat, I've been yapping too much. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Something embarrassing happened. I was so dazed. While I was pouring water, I overfilled it, and it went all over my hand. I overfilled it. It's fine. It's fine. I cleaned it up. All right, we are ready. Oh wow, the guess is near 50-50. Okay. All right. Let's see. Go eat. I'll eat later. I'll eat after stream. We're thinking about fanfic so much, yeah. It's just so peak, you know? Okay. Let me try this again. Let me clear my throat. Okay. I can feel my face heating up again as I read the last part of the letter. There was no way he would actually write this, not unless there was another meaning. Operator Phantom might be in trouble. It could be that the Crimson Troop, or maybe one of his other enemies, is coming after him. Who else would be more qualified to help him other than me, the doctor of Rhodes Island? Ooh yeah, I'm a little delusional, but I love it. But he couldn't make it obvious, so he must have written the letter to look like a love letter, confident that I'll be able to grasp the real meaning behind his romantic, seductive, honeyed words. This is so peak. Oh my gosh, you guys are awesome writers. Yes, that's definitely it. I nod, satisfied at my own deduction. Doctor. But still, part of me can't shake off the other more straightforward interpretation. Maybe Phantom had somehow picked up on my affections. If he somehow finds the 3 handmade Phantom plushies I hid under my bed. What if he's actually offering to... No, that's obviously not it. I can't let my imaginations get the better of me. For now I should just... Doctor! A sharp tone brought me out of my trance. I didn't even notice her coming in, but there is someone standing right across from my desk. Her brown, fluffy ears twitch as Amia tilts her head. Her expression, a mix of confusion and worry. Are you all right, Doctor? You were talking to yourself, the Katis girl asked. I can feel my face heating up at the realization that Amia, of all people, was watching me fantasize about Phantom. I tried to keep my voice level as I reply. I'm fine, Amia. I was just doing some thinking. Purposefully omitting saying what I was actually thinking about. Amia scrunched her brows, clearly unsatisfied by my vague answer. But she simply sighed and didn't press any further. Please take care of yourself, Doctor. We're all depending on you. I will. Thanks, Amia. Amia nodded, my reply seemingly enough to reassure her. Dr. Calcit is waiting for you at our operational meeting. Calcit! Okay. Moment of mourning. In this universe, Uriel has a secret pipeline of fandom merch productions? Yes. Who's the seamstress here? Maybe, who's the seamstress that I commissioned here? It's only after she mentioned that I faintly recall a meeting being scheduled today around this time. Honestly, if Amia hadn't come here to remind me, I'd have completely forgotten about it. And it's all because of this letter. Calcit is waiting, huh? I can already hear the lecture she'll give me about responsibility and the importance of being punctual. While I probably deserve it this time, I only wish that she didn't have to be so long-winded with her, or is it winded, with her lectures every time. Let's go then, I say with a sigh of resignation, picking up my mask and putting it back on. Back on. The next few hours after leaving the office was practically a blur. Different operators and presentations came and went, the exact details of which I wouldn't be able to recall with my life on the line. The only thing I vividly recall was glancing at Calcit. Okay, wait. I just blinked out, and seeing her very concerning expression. Other than that, I couldn't stop thinking about that letter I hastily stuffed inside my desk drawer, as well as the person who sent it. He didn't write his name on the paper, but I know enough about Phantom to know he was the one who wrote it. That's all for our agenda today, Amia said, once again breaking me out of my trance. Faint orange lights peek in through the landship shutters. It's already late in the afternoon without me realizing it. which means that it's not long until the time the letter mentioned. Doctor. This time, it's Calcet's sharp tone that forcefully seized my attention. Yes? You have been distracted by something the entire day. Your decision-making has been uncharacteristically sloppy and uninspired. I had kept quiet so far, but Amiya and I'm sure a few of the operators you've met today had noticed your disrupted state. Is there something that you need to tell us, Doctor? Calcet asked pointedly. Okay, let me take off my mask. Okay. As always, she never minces her words. Her assessment was harsh, but not inaccurate. Even though I can't tell her the reason I was so distracted today was because I received Phantom's love confession. Even if seeing Calcet's reaction to it might be interesting, the sheer embarrassment I'd have from making such a confession would be immeasurable. I think love letters are so sweet. They're so sweet. Would I write one myself? Maybe not as a confession. I'm too shy. Also, I'm also very dense as a brick. So I'd be like, nah, I got no chance, you know? I'll just wait it out. Okay. Where was I? Who am I? Oh, yes. It is a personal issue, I say reluctantly. I'm sorry for making you worry, but I'll be fine by tomorrow. For better or for worse, I must resolve the issue today. It is a personal issue. Yeah. Okay. There's a pause as tension continues to build between me and Calcet, while poor Amiya, who's stuck in the middle, metaphorically and literally, keeps glancing between the both of us, growing increasingly worried, but unsure if she should say anything. Very well, Doctor. Calcet finally broke the silence. I will not meddle unnecessarily into your personal life. Keep in mind, however, that your decisions affect more than just yourself, but also Amiya and the rest of Rhodes Island. The conflicts ahead of us will only grow more perilous. Your role, Doctor, will be the difference in whether Rhode Island, no, perhaps even the whole of Terra, will be able to overcome them. Though, I do not mean to say that your own thoughts do not matter. Rather, I hope that you would be willing to confide in me regarding any issues that you might face. Yeah, if I was in Rose Island is screwed. They're so screwed if I would ever be the Doctor. Let's hope I never get isekai'd into that position. Very biblical? Yeah, thanks, Drowsy. I have a theory that Calcet can only speak in the form of long-winded speeches. This was on the shorter end in comparison to her usual speeches, though I'm fairly sure that she will have a lot more to say if I let her go on. I'm sorry to make you worry, but I'm fine, really, I replied. There's someone I need to talk to. This is between me and them. I'll need you to trust me on this. If that's your choice, Doctor, then I will not say anything more in the matter. Come, Amiya, let's leave the doctors to sort out her personal issues. Without so much as another glance at you, Calcet left the meeting room. Amiya, at the very least, gave you a nod before hurrying after her. Whew, she's definitely angry. Calcet will have to wait, though. I do feel bad for her, but right now, Lucian awaits. I get up from my chair and leave the meeting room, walking through the corridors of the landship. It's only now that I realize that I still haven't thought about what I'm going to say to Phantom after I meet him. I've been so focused thinking about what he said in the letter that I've yet to think about what I'm going to say to him. As much as I like Phantom, it would never work out between us. Lucy needs someone who can provide him with constant affirmation and moral support. I don't have the time, energy, or sanity to afford to do that. Secondly, Phantom is very edgy. I don't want to deal with that in my life. Oh my gosh. I did say that in the stream before. Basically, I like him, but someone else can fix him. Oh my gosh. This is actually kind of accurate. I'm a simp, but would I actually date him? I don't know. I don't know if we'd be compatible in real life, you know what I mean? Let's see. If you're in Rhodes Island, only the female operators gonna get any work is in the operations that Cal or Amiya leads. The ones you lead are just me guys, yep. Amiya, Dr. Uriel, these IRS is investigating us for tax fraud. What happened? With all, yeah, just the fan plushes. Okay. Before I even realized where I was going, I'm already standing in front of a door. Somehow, I know this room, this is the room mentioned in the letter. Not because there were any obvious markings on the door. Most doors in the landship, with a few exceptions, were identical on the outside. And not because of something abstract like my connection to Phantom. Rather, from the moment I read the letter, I had been mentally picturing myself walking towards the room over and over and over again, to the point where I can't imagine myself accidentally going to any other place in the landship. Even when I was walking with Amia to the meeting room earlier, I had to physically stop myself from accidentally wandering here instead. I'm right on time too. I still haven't decided what I'm going to say to Phantom yet, but I'm not going to run away after coming this far either. With a deep breath, I placed my palm on the panel and opened the door. Oh, now there's a message on the bottom. Pay $4.99 to read the rest of the story. Crap, I don't have $5 on me, guys. And if you have $5, how dare you? How dare you, random? You're random. How dare you gatekeep this? I don't have $4.99. I'm not kidding. Wait, let me screenshot this. This is it's a pay to read. What the Okay, then again, you guys are okay. Wait. Let me just. I need to show this. It's hilarious. Okay, it's just. Look at this. What the heck? Every mod that read it. Oh my gosh! What is this DLC? What's this? What's this scam? You can't leave it at that. I need to see what's behind the room. Okay. It's okay. Lucky for me, there's still another page. It says just kidding at the bottom. Don't worry, it says just kidding. There's still more. There's like, how much more pages? I don't know how many. There's like there's like 2 more pages. So let's continue. It was a joke. Luckily. My heart dropped, guys. The smell of roses and wine almost instantly clogged my nostrils as soon as they were open. The room was bathed with a violet hue, rose petals, red and white strewn all across the floor. In the middle of the room, there's a chaise lounge and a man lying on his side on top of it, his maroon shirt unbuttoned, exposing his pale chest. The man smiles as he sees you, 2 sharp fangs jutting out of a row of white teeth. His eyes narrowed like a predator, about to pounce on prey. Oh my gosh, this is peak. We did all get pranked. Long black hair swaying with each motion of his head, seemingly shimmering against the room's dim lighting. As I process this sight, I can't stop myself from blurting out the first thought that comes to my mind. Good evening, You're not Phantom. It's not Phantom. It's not Phantom. Yeah, he doesn't have long black hair. I was like, wait, black hair? He doesn't have black hair? What is this? Okay. Yoru looks stunned, following my, what must be from his perspective, shocking response. I'm also stunned, for a completely different reason. My humblest apologies, Doctor. Could it be that you were expecting a different person? No! This is so awkward! In retrospect, it should have been obvious. Flowy handwriting, grandiose verbiage, and writing on paper smelling of roses. Well, those did suit Lucian's proclivity. They were not exclusive to him. Another member of Rhodes Island, also known for these things, is Yoru, also known as Operator Midnight. This is peak. That is so peak. Okay. Alright, we're continuing. The main difference between the two was that Yoru had a long history of confessing and writing love letters to a growing list of Rhode Island employees and associates. You know what? I have like midnight skin. It is very nice. Whereas Lucian had yet to write a single love letter that I know of. Why did I ever think I was special? Doctor? Operator Midnight, I say in a tone sterner than I intended. Yes? Did you get into another fight with Operator Orchid? Well, that is to say, I sigh. Surely there must be a better way to deal with the conflict. You're not solving anything like this. Since I'm already here anyways, I might as well stop this personal issue here once and for all. And I've heard all about these love letters from other employees, but I wrote it off at the time as just one of the company's amusing stories. Writing a love letter to me, though, was a level of unprofessionalism that cannot be overlooked. How dare you play with my heart like this, guys? How dare you play with my heart like this? One other thing I have to make sure is that the contents of that letter and the details of what happened today must never get out to anyone. Anya might be polite enough to hide her laughter, but I won't be able to deal with Calcit's sarcastic alluding to this event in her future lectures. I'll rip up and burn that letter myself. Meanwhile, at the same time in Doctor's office. Oh dear. The furrow of Amya's brows grow deeper and deeper the longer she looks around the office. Doctor has her own system of organizing important files and wouldn't be able to find almost anything within seconds of someone requesting anything. With her currently gone, Tara knows where right now. Anya had no clue where she was supposed to look. What happened to Doctor today, anyways? Anya opened a drawer on the doctor's desk, just in case that's where she kept the new personnel's files. She raises an eyebrow as she sees a letter sprawled out of place among various trinkets and small objects inside the drawer. Is this a letter for Doctor? Oh no. Oh no. Anya looks around just to make sure no one else is inside the office, even though she already knows she's alone. The right thing to do would be to leave the obviously personal letter alone and respect Doctor's privacy. But curiosity is gnawing at Anya. Besides, Doctor's always at fault for making her worry this entire day. Just a peek won't hurt. Her heart thumping in her chest, Anya picks up the rose-smelling paper and starts to read. Dearest Doctor, my feelings for you burn in my chest like a Draco's fire. No, Anya, no. Oh no. Oh my gosh, I just had to clear my throat, but oh, no, Anya, don't do it. Don't do it. Random, how could you? How could you drag our poor girl into this? That was so funny. Oh my gosh, I had no idea where this was going. So I guess the poll, whoever said it was real, I guess it technically is real. It just wasn't from the person I intended. I didn't expect that. That caught me so off guard. I loved it. That was so much fun. Okay. And good thing you didn't completely paywall it, because that ending, peak. Absolute peak. Okay, let's go. Number 5. We got 9 today, so we're making good progress. Okay. So this one here is... Okay. This one here is from Yamawaki. Let me switch the title now. Title? They didn't think of one, so I'm just gonna call it Untitled. Well, actually it was called Didn't think of one. I'm just gonna call it that. Bye. Yamawaki! Sorry, I know you didn't put a title, but, you know, I'm just gonna do it. Just let me blow my nose real quick. It was comedic gold. It was cinema. You are such good writers, everyone. You're right. It could be considered a prank. Okay. Ready? Yamawaki. Uriel sat on a bench, tapping her foot in anticipation. It drummed a beat full of unease and tension, drawing the eyes of a few of the other operators in the waiting room. The young Sancta considered her other squad mates, all newly hired operators of Rhode Island. To her left, a Pero, codenamed Backdrop, rummaged through his medical bag, his face looking as worried as he felt. I wonder if this is the one from the anime, you know, the unnamed Pero that we always talk about. To her right, a Volpo, codenamed 8-Ball, flicked through a fashion magazine. Had it not been for her caster badge, Uriel would have mistook her for a guard due to the huge pole axe strapped in next to her. She learned, to her surprise, that it was a casting staff that 8-Ball had just decided to strap an axe head on in case of emergency. Across from Uriel was another Sancta, Delirium. The specialist operator was sharpening a pair of swords, but when she'd first introduced herself to Uriel, she'd offer her a knife. Uriel had taken it uneasily, spooked slightly by the fact that when she asked what it was for, Delirium had merely raised an eyebrow and muttered about knowing when it was needed. It sat in her belt now, heavy and promising violence. Am I gonna stab Phantom in this? Presently, two men walked into the room. The first was a feline dressed in dark clothing, yellow eyes gazing out upon the occupants of the room. Something about him made Uriel's heart beat faster, and Delirium looked up from her sword and to raise an eyebrow at her. The second man was a Phidia, dressed in much lighter shades, and had lavender hair flowing freely to his shoulders. The occupants of the room turned to observe them as the is it Phidia or Phidia? Maybe Phidia. Yeah, I think they would be OCs. They would be OCs, that'd be cool. Good day. My codename is Shalem. This is Phantom. He will be the squad captain for today. The doctor himself is commanding this operation. Any questions? No? Then I'll begin the mission with the mission's briefing. Oh. Okay, so maybe... Okay, so I'm not the doctor in this one. I'm like an operator in this one. I look just like here, right? Me, in this gear. I think my outfit passes for an Arknights outfit, right? Surely does. Okay. Where am I? Okay. Any questions? Then I'll begin with today's briefing. Uriel didn't hear a word of it. The feline, Phantom, had all her attention. She studied his clothes, his movements, his eyes, his voice on the few occasions he spoke. Uriel found herself hunkered down in what was once an office, long since abandoned, and more recently fortified. The doctor had ordered her to hold position by herself to prevent the rest of the squad from being flanked. Crouched behind a fallen pillar, the hardest piece of cover she could find, the Sancta held her hands over a neat row of shotgun shells and started to channel her arts. The shells began to glow, blessed and consecrated, and once they were complete, she reverently slid them into the loading port of her patron firearm. Those that didn't fit inside the magazine tube remained arrayed before her, organized into neat groups. Oh my gosh, sorry, my voice is like... Let me just clear my throat for a second. Okay, I'm gonna clear my throat. Sorry, when I yap too much, my voice gets like extra weird. Kind of mucusy. Okay, let's continue. Where was I? Oh yes, very detailed, I love this. The ritual took some time, but the resultant increase in power had landed her the position of a Liberator Guard. Oh my gosh. Yamawaki remembered what I was. I am indeed a Liberator Guard if I had to be one. I would want to be a Liberator Guard. Loaded and ready, Uriel peered over the pillar and raised her shotgun to cover the north and east doors. Oh my gosh, how did Yamawaki know I like shotguns? Both of which had been long boarded over. Seraph, prepare for contact. Enemy squad approaching from the east. The doctor's voice transmitted with a hint of static interference, and Uriel adjusted her earpiece slightly as she responded. Oh my gosh. Yamawaki even knows what operator name I would give myself. Maybe Yamawaki's in my walls. Seraph copies, ready to engage. She nodded to herself, taking a deep breath and lining up her first shot. A tense minute passed before she heard voices, pounding footsteps growing louder, and she saw movement beyond the boards. She almost fired, but the voice in her ear stopped her. Wait for them to group first. They won't have all caught up yet. Uriel nodded again, as if the doctor could see her. She waited as one of the figures started hammering on the boards. She watched as the wood began to crack and splinter. As it gave way, she finally saw her enemy, the masked terrorist, flinching as he noticed the glow of her halo. Reunion. She pulled the trigger before he could shout a warning. A slug tore clean through a remaining plank at chest height, setting it ablaze before continuing on and pitching the reunion member from his feet. He crashed into the soldier behind him, a hole melted clean through his chest plate, and chaos erupted. Uriel worked the pump of her shotgun and fired another 2 rounds into the doorway, before deftly snatching up a fresh shell and loading it into the magazine. Ejecting the current shell with the practiced racking of the firearm, the next reunion member to try and pass the doorway had the misfortune of being hit by the Sanctus-empowered buckshot round. His shield and clothes began to burn with spectral fire, and Uriel tried to ignore the screaming as she watched him drop to the ground and tried to roll the fire out. She shook her head as her hands automatically reloaded her weapon. She had to do well here. She had to get Phantom to notice her. Bro, this sounds kind of yandere, sure. Get Phantom to notice her? Suddenly, rather embarrassed, the young Sancta perforated the wall around the doorway with armor-piercing rounds, only stopping when she heard the click of an empty chamber. She ducked back into cover, snatching up another handful of shells. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Encore, you're right. Encore, you're right. As she deftly reloaded, a crackle in her earpiece pulled her attention away. Seraph, retreat now. Backdrop. Focus on keeping Shalem healed. Delirium. Phantom. Target those casters. Everyone else, prepare for position 2. Not yet, thought Uriel, as a wave of acknowledgements came over the radio. Just a few more. Springing up from behind her cover, Uriel dropped the next 2 reunion troops rushing in before vaulting her makeshift barricade. Ooh, doctor's gonna scold me. Her heartbeat beating manically as the grenade one of them had managed to toss sailed past her and onto the side of the barricade she just vacated. Sliding under a whistling crossbow bolt, she barged into the shooter and sent them both sprawling. A curious sense of tension built inside her as she scrambled up, sending 1, 2, 3 rounds into the man's chest. She had time to frantically load 2 more blessed shells before the northern door was kicked in. Seraph, fall back now! The doctor's voice was mostly calm, oopsies, but a hint of caution was creeping in. Uriel ducked under a swing aimed to take her head off, countering by slamming the stock of her shotgun into the soldier's mask. I love how detailed this is. Okay, just let me drink some water real quick. Okay. The mask cracked, and the man's half-finished curse was cut off as the gun went off, sending it crashing into his face, again carried by its recoil. As he went down the Sancta span, dropping to one knee and aiming at the newly opened entry point, only to find shock and panic reflected back at her. A reunion soldier, frozen just as she was, aiming a firearm of his own at her face. A pair of glowing wings and halo floating around him. Oh! Am I breaking the law, guys? Oh no, wait. Okay, I didn't shoot him. A pair of glowing wings and halos floating around him, yeah. Neither Sancta fired, and a heartbeat passed as they read the motions of each other. Then the reunion Sancta surged forward, holstering his patron firearm. I love the use of Sancta lore here. Very nice, especially like the reading emotions of each other. Dang, this is a lore reader here, guys. Yamawaki's a lore reader, everyone. This is such a nice detailed action sequence. I love how we're getting like different flavors of fanfic here. Uriel panicked, her finger unable to squeeze the trigger for fear of the consequences, and instead brought her gun to block the incoming blow. The other Sancta feigned left, then sent her reeling with a right hook, then knocked the communicator from her ear and opened up a gash on her forehead. She scrambled back, desperately wiping the blood from her brow in an effort to stop it flowing into her eye as a reunion soldier drew a sword from his side. With sudden clarity, Uriel understood why Delirium had offered her a knife. Dropping her precious weapon, she drew the short blade and attempted a stab that she'd been taught once in basic training. The soldier parried it almost contemptuously, a flick of his wrist opening her forearm in return. She flinched, but so did her assailant, evidently unused to sharing emotions with their opponent. Taking the opportunity, Uriel turned and vaulted over a desk, but felt the blade slice across the back of her leg. She landed badly, pain flaring as she tumbled to the ground, but was able to madly drag herself about a meter before a hand on her back hauled her up. Stabbing blindly, Uriel plunged a dagger into the soldier's shoulder, and he let out a roar of pain as he threw her back across the room. She hit the desk, felt it splinter and break under her, and allowed her a moment to groan in pain. She felt her opponent's anger, his pain as he wrenched the knife from his shoulder, and when she opened her eyes, she saw him approaching her and knew from the shared empathy exactly what he was about to do. I love how like Yamawaki's using like the whole like Sancta lore in order to like create conflict in like a lore-based way. This is amazing. It was just the moment a knife spun out of the shadows towards the reunion soldier. The man reacted with blinding speed, knocking the knife out of the air and drawing his pistol with his injured arm. Uriel, too, turned to look, enduring the pain as she shifted her body. Phantom stood in the doorway, another knife already drawn. The doctor was worried about you. Now come along. We must be going. Despite the situation, he spoke as if he were simply picking her up from a train station. Uriel felt the shock, then indignation of the reunion soldier between them. The soldier tensed, then charged Phantom, firing wildly as he closed the distance. The operator barely moved, the bullet seeming to be swallowed up by his dark cloak. As reunion members' blade slashed down, Phantom simply shifted his body slightly and knocked the blade aside, dodging and deflecting each subsequent attack as he worked his way towards increasingly panicked Sancta. At knife range, the extra reach of the sword turned into a burden as the blade was hemmed in, and Uriel closed her eyes as a horrific fear of death came to her. When she opened them, Phantom was cleaning his knife, looking at her expectantly. Suddenly quite self-conscious, she found her firearm within reach and grabbed it before attempting to stand up. The agony in her leg quickly dissuaded her from trying again. As she turned to Phantom, she felt a stirring anger and glimpsed the half-dead Sancta behind him, shakily raising his pistol. Without hesitation, she snapped her shotgun up and found herself pulling at the trigger before Phantom's knife sprouted from the reunion's member's mask. Jerking the weapon aside, her shot harmlessly impacted a wall. Oh. Uriel allowed herself a sigh of relief, only to turn back and freeze up when she realized Phantom had silently closed the distance between them. His yellow eyes gazed into her own as she felt her cheeks flush. It was a few seconds before he spoke. Were you willing to fall for me? I love this is like a double entendre, guys. Suppressing the screaming inside, Uriel simply nodded shyly. Phantom rubbed his chin in thought and bent down and picked her up. Let's get you home. The operation is concluded for you. Uriel nodded again, feeling lightheaded. She couldn't tell if it was from her proximity to Phantom or the blood loss, but all she could focus on was him, his face, his features, how he smelt, how effortlessly he was carrying her, the cat. Giving her a judgmental stare from his shoulder, Uriel looked away, face burning red as Phantom carried her from the building. Overall, despite the fear and the pain, today was a good day. Yay! Oh my gosh, that was so good. Oh my gosh, that wasn't a bad fanfic. That was peak fiction right there. Dang, Do you write novels or something, Yamawaki? Like, the action sequence were so good, like the twist, the conflict, the accuracy to lore, you know? Oh my gosh, even the end had me kind of tense. I was like, oh my gosh, am I really gonna fall? Am I really going to like shoot the bullet to a sancta? Some of the best stories are like when they're so like, when they keep you guessing, you know? That was genuinely really good. It was really, really well written. Bro, Yamawaki, you should write a book. If you haven't written a book, you should. You have like a gift for this. This is like, that was so good. Like I said, the action, the visuals. Like I could like smell the blood from the gash on the forehead. It was also visceral, you know? That was awesome. Thank you, Yamawaki. Next, number 6. Okay. Roman, are you here? Roman, you're here. Yours is next. Congratulations. Are you ready to hear your fanfic be read? Okay. I can just copy paste. The prophecy. I'm gonna capitalize the P. The prophecy. Bah. Ramon. Yes. It's your turn. Are you ready? I hope you're ready. It's your turn. You're not ready to cringe yourself? Don't worry. We're in this. Okay, let me look for it. Where is it? Okay. I must drink some water for this. Ooh. Nice formatting. Disclaimer. I know almost nothing about Arknights, lores, and the characters, but that ain't gonna stop me. Enjoy the story. That's gonna be awesome. Don't worry, we had one that was super Arknights heavy, and this one's gonna be loosely based, but I'm here for the good fanfics. Are you ready? You should play the game, by the way. It's a good game. The morning sun was shining through the window, gently illuminating Uriel's still closed eyes. As she wakes up, she hears a couple birds singing, reminding her the beauty of a calm life. She wakes up, ready to have a great day, humming her favorite song. As she reaches the fridge to make her breakfast, Uriel hears a knock at the door. Oh, who could that be at this hour in the morning? She says, a bit confused since she wasn't expecting any visits that day. When she opened the door, she was met with nothing but an empty doorstep. Confused, Uriel looked left and right, searching for someone, but she found nothing. If only she had looked up, she would have seen the approaching giant meteorite that was about to crash directly into her head. Without any time to react, Uriel was covered by an immense wave of destruction, and then all faded to black. Is this Homestuck? Is this Homestuck? Am I being hit by something? The next time Uriel opened her eyes, she was no longer in her bedroom. She wasn't in her house either. Her head was still sore, and her vision blurry, but then she heard a familiar voice. Is this Isekai? Hey yo, we're getting Isekai fic here? Ah, you're finally awake. The owner of that voice was none other than Wei Yanwu himself. I found you lying on the top of my roof 4 days ago. The roof. You have been asleep all this time. I was starting to get worried that you would never wake up, he said with a neutral tone of voice. But enough about me. Tell me more about you. Who are you, stranger? I'm Uriel. How did I get here? She said, extremely confused by the situation, which felt like just 1 minute ago. She was just about to have a normal day, and all of a sudden, she was in front of a fictional character. Well, I don't know. Sorry, wrong person. Well, I don't know. That's why I'm asking you, replied Wei, visibly annoyed by the lack of a better answer. You don't look like you're from here. You look out of this world, he said, more calmly as he started to look more carefully into Uriel's amber eyes. You look beautiful. Oh, is this a Wei fanfic? Wei Yanwu fanfic? Hold up. Isn't he a married man? Wait, is he a married man? Oh my. He finished his sentence. Okay. Then he was interrupted by someone knocking at the door of his office. Hey, what's going on here? Said Faust as he entered the room. Next to him was Tallulah. Who is she? And why is she so attractive? He said. What? Said Tallulah, looking at Foss confused. Nah, brother, I found her first, Wei replied. Wei replied, you can't have her just for you, Foss said. She's mine, Wei screamed. Suddenly, Foss ran into Wei, and they started fighting and screaming like two animals with rabies. This is so chaotic. Harem. Wait. But Wei isn't he taken? Oh my gosh. That's so funny. In the middle of the confusion, Uriel and Tallulah looked into each other's eyes. What the hell is happening? Said Uriel. Let's talk outside, replied Tallulah. As she opened the door behind her, they walked to the top of the building, leaving the still audible fight behind them. When Uriel looked the red sky of the sunset city, she realized that this place was definitely not her city, not even her world. This was Terra. I know why you're here. Uriel's thoughts were interrupted by Tallulah's voice. You're here to punish me for not being brave enough before and confess my feelings for Wei. And now you're gonna steal my Pookie Wei from me. I won't let you, she said as she unsheathed her sword. Oh my gosh. Fortunately, she was interrupted by an explosion nearby that shook the entire building. At the distance, Uriel was able to identify a silhouette behind the smoke and fire. Look at me. I am exploding things because I'm evil. Mwahaha. And I'm crazy too. The mysterious figure screamed in the middle of the chaos. What's going on here? Wait, but the question is Tallulah still taken over by the Black Snake? So is whatever his name is, Kachenzi, what was his name again? The Black Snake? I forgot his name. Start with a K. What if he is still taking over Tallulah's body? So secretly the Black Snake is the one pinning for Wei. That would be a weird love hexagon at that point. This is peak 2010 fanfic. This is so accurate. So good. This is some AO3. Casche, yeah. What if this is Casche in Tallulah's body? Anyways, I ship Tallulah and Alina very much. Oh no! Is Mephisto doing villain stuff again? What horrible timing! Just when I was about to care. When Tallulah turned her head to see Uriel, she was no longer there. Uriel ran as fast as she could, leaving the building and entering a place where she thought she could be safe. It was a dive bar. She entered and quickly closed the door behind her. Uriel looked down, tried to calm her breathing, and closed her eyes. Then she heard more voices in front of her. In the table in front of her was Vigil, Lessing, Zola, and Silverash having a conversation about manly man things. Oh my gosh, this is 2010 fanfic right here. When they realized Uriel's presence, their eyes turned to hearts and started to fight over for her attention. Uriel, tired of running, decides to just rest in an empty table and drink something. Can I buy you a coffee? Said Vigil. I don't like coffee. I actually don't like coffee. How accurate, Uriel replied. I told you she wouldn't like coffee. She looks more like a tea kind of lady. You missed your opportunity. Now it's my turn, said Silverash. Hey, do you like jazz? Uriel looked at him with a tired and annoyed look on her face. You don't even know how to talk either, screamed Zola, once again, leading to everyone fighting. Uriel rested her head on her arms and lamented in silence. I just want to go home. Suddenly, the door opened once again. Everyone stopped fighting and looked at the door. There was Mephisto, holding a bouquet of flowers. He approached Uriel. He knelt in one knee, and holding the flowers in Uriel's face, he said, Uriel, since the first time I saw you, all those minutes ago, I couldn't stop thinking about you. But how could someone so perfect ever be with someone like me? That's why I decided to change. I will be good from now on. I rescued a puppy that was stuck on a tree on my way here. I definitely didn't put the dog there in the first place. Please, accept my feelings. Uriel remained silent for a couple of seconds that felt like hours to Mephisto. Then she got up and left the bar, leaving Mephisto in tears. Silverash and Lessing tried to console him. Bro, this is like a cracked fanfic. This is so cracked. Oh my gosh. You're right, Roman. Compared to the last fanfic, it's so different. That's why it's peak. Outside the bar it was already nighttime, and it was starting to rain. Uriel tried to think again what could have possibly happened to her, and why everyone was so interested in her. Maybe she looked different now. After that incident, she hadn't seen her own face. With curiosity, got closer to a puddle. Oh, Uriel got closer to a puddle of water made by the rain. Just when she was about to see a reflection in it, someone grabbed her shoulder. It was Frostnova. She's alive! It was Frostnova, who looked at Uriel with the expression of pure anger. I have heard of you. You're the one trying to get all the men of this world just for yourself. Tallulah warned me about you before, but I didn't listen. All this in the span of like a couple minutes? I thought the prophecy was just nonsense, but now I see the truth, she said. Now I need to do my part in the story. If I leave you, you will cause the destruction of our society, the downfall of humanity. Frostnova took a gun 2 times bigger than her head out of her pocket and aimed directly to Uriel's face. But I didn't do anything, Uriel cried. You know, this reminds me of like the handsome Squidward episode where like Squidward's face got like smashed in with the door. In this case, my face got smashed into a meteor and he came out looking extra handsome. You know? So like, this could totally be me. You know, I have like handsome Squidward face, Dorito chin for all I know. Okay, let's continue. Just before Frostnova could pull the trigger, an earthquake shook the entire city, and the rain started to intensify rapidly. Everyone was starting to evacuate the city. The storm was just about to get worse. Uriel ran as far as she could aimlessly, trying to get as far as she could from the storm, and most importantly, away from Frostnova. Then a lightning struck a communications tower, destroying it and sending pieces of concrete to the ground. One of the pieces of rubble was about to fall on top of Uriel, but at the last second, someone picked her up in her arms and moved her just in time, saving her. "Are you okay?" he said. Uriel looked at him. He was Opianus. "Now that I saved you, we should be together forever. I have dreamed about you. Now, kiss me under the rain, like in those books I borrowed from Thorns," he said. Oh my gosh. Then another earthquake appeared, but this one felt different. Uriel looked to the sides and was petrified the moment she realized what was causing the movement. Over 1,000 men were approaching them rapidly, causing the ground to shake, all of them with gifts for Uriel and love letters. All of this in the span of a couple of minutes. Oh my. When they finally got close enough, they stopped and looked to each other's eyes. There was men from all races and places on Terra. Caprine, Cactus, Elfia, Feline, Forte, Caranta, Liberi, Fidia, and even Ager. All of them were with the same objective in mind. Be the one with the woman of the prophecy at all cost. The tension was palpable, and it only got worse when all of them started to take out the weapons, getting ready for war. Oh my gosh, I'm going to like... Travis got contradicted. Oh no. Yeah, Thorns is a man of culture. I love Thorns. Hopefully Thorns is out of here. He's just chilling with Elysium, I hope. Okay. Man, this reminds me of like, I don't know if you played these games, maybe because it's like more female oriented, but like the games where like you play as a girl in high school and you shoot like lasers from your eyes at men to fill up their heart meter. And then they like they float around, they like follow behind you, and you like you need to like fight other girls to steal their men too. It's really weird, but this is what it's reminding me of. Truck Hunter Meteor in this case was very mad. Yeah, you know, Sarai? This is a monkey paw thing. Yeah, it is. I don't know if they still have it because it was a Flash game, but okay. One man from the crowd spoke. It was Ebenholtz. "Is this the one everyone was talking about? I don't really see the appeal, to be honest," he said. Then Uriel then smoothed back the hair that was slightly covering one of her eyes. "Oh my gosh, she's gorgeous," screamed Ebenholtz. "Nothing will ever take us apart," he continued. "Did you call me?" asked Mr. Nothing. "Of course not," Ebenholtz replied. In the background, Logos and Flamebringer started fighting without any warning, and soon everyone else was doing the same. But the war was stopped by a loud roar that froze everyone. Why do we need to fight? Why can't we come to an agreement? Like make a new country and make her our queen, said Mountain. Of course, Mountain's the reasonable one here. No, he's not. Everyone looked at each other and began to whisper among themselves. And so, all the individual nations moved their cities to make a new continent. And one nation that they called Uriel was now the queen of all of Terra. She was starting to get used to this when beep, 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 beep. Her alarm clock began to ring. Uriel woke up in her bed covered in sweat. It was just a dream. What a horrible dream, she said, panting still on her bed. Don't worry, sweetheart. I'm here. Come back to bed, said Phantom. Uriel looked shocked at him, sleeping in the same bed as her. She remained silent for a second and said, yes. The end. Oh my gosh, it's plot twist after plot twist. What if it's a recurring dream? What if this is a dream within a dream? I'm still asleep, guys. Peak. This truly captured the bad fanfic of the past. It was so good. Roman, you truly got a knack for this. You got a talent for this. That really took me back to my childhood. Peak. Thank you, Roman. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed me reading it. That was amazing. Oh my gosh, I didn't blow my nose. That was really good. Okay. That was such a fever dream. An absolute fever dream. Okay, among all the fanfic we got through in the stream, this is the most peak. They're all peak for their own reasons. Okay. 7. Okay, this one is from Mr. Word. How Hope is Found. Let me write this down. The prophecy. That's even the title is super funny. Okay. How Hope is Found by Mr. Word. By Mr. Word. Then I press OK, and then I drag this here. There we go. Okay. Let me find it now. Okay, How Hope is Found. Perfect. Let me just blow my nose one more time. This is the most I've talked, guys. Okay. Sorry, I'm not muting my nose blowing here. You guys are getting the full experience here. How Hope is Found. Okay, are you ready? You ready for Mr. Word? What mysterious name? There's a quotation marks. There's a quote and start. What faith cannot provide, hope will make possible. That's a nice quote. The past 2 weeks have been the longest in this former judge's life. Admittedly, she didn't have much of a career as a judge beforehand. A tendered resignation, a changing career, and a little referral from a colleague, and now she's just Uriel, an operator of Rhodes Island. She wanted to leave Laterano behind after their whole faith was revealed all for naught, a lie created by their own people. For the empathetic Sancta, such betrayal is something that no one could have fathomed. Of course, they are people that have risen above that. However, most of them lack the spirit. The contradictions were even too great for some that they made the ultimate surrender. Uriel, on the other hand, coped by leaving it all behind her. She was just a regular Sancta trying to live her life as close to her faith as possible. She was pious, but she wasn't a rebel. She just wanted to find something that could distract her from the chaos that had happened. Ooh, I wonder when this takes place. Yeah, it's an operator. The operators are really interesting because you put your own spin on it. She was just working in Rhodes' Victorian branch. It wasn't Laterano, but it strangely felt like home to her for some reason. She had a spacious dorm room given to her since she couldn't afford housing yet. That's so accurate. Dorm rooms here had enough and some amenities that people don't even want to find a place within town. Although her workplace might as well be its own town at this point, given how big it is. Apparently, one of the last things the last king of Victoria did was give Rhodes Island some land as gratitude for their key role in stopping the Victoria-Casdell War. Well, that's how she got started working there anyways. Ooh, is this like the Victoria arc? Or when does this take place? Or is this just like completely made up? Ah, You must be one of our new operators. Big hood, covered face that you barely see. Their gray eyes and a presence that screams, big deal. I am the doctor of Rhodes Island. Pleasure to meet you. Yeah, hi. This is like being greeted by the Pope back home, but Uriel swallowed her nerves for a bit. Likewise, Mr. Executor told me a lot about you. He did? The doctor pondered. Oh, you must be his new friend that he keeps talking about. What? So the person that suggested her to apply at Rhode Islands was none other than one of the saints, Federico. How do you pronounce his last name, guys? Giallo? 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 Did I say it right? Like gelato. Giotto. Giallo. Gelato. Giallo. Has to be Giallo, right? It was a chance encounter. She has her weekly errands for groceries before actually bumping against a man. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Mr. Saint, sir. Please forgive me. Uriel panicked as she picked up her fallen supplies. It's fine. Frankly, I was the one at fault. Federico crouched to help the fallen angel. I was deep in thought about a topic, and I accidentally became an obstacle in your path. No, really. I might have hurt you, Mr. Saint. Please, Uriel stammered. She didn't have a saint apologizing to her as part of her itinerary. Federico waved his hand. No need to worry. I have not sustained any form of damage. Also, the title of saint means little to me and to Laterano. Please, just refer to me by my name, Federico. All right then, Mr. Federico. I better be off then. Sorry to keep you... Wait, your name? The man asked. I introduced myself. Common procedure states that you must introduce yourself as well. He did have a point, even though Uriel just wants to melt like an ice cream cone right now. I'm Uriel, sir. It's a pleasure to meet you, Uriel said, bowing her head in a 45-degree angle with every syllable. Ooh. Uriel, I remember that you posted your resignation just a week after becoming an official judge. Federico then looked at her with concern. If it is personal, then it's none of my business. But if there's a flaw in the tribunal, then I need to know. You remember me? Uriel reddened at the idea, but Federico didn't seem to notice and continued. Right here, Mr. Word is a lore reader, guys. Lore reader right here. It is part of my duty, but there has been a lot of instability within the Curia as of late. A nation's faith being irreparably damaged. It's amazing that Laterano hasn't imploded yet. It's not much, but if you are looking for a change in scenery, as well as a new occupation, I can refer you to a partner company I sometimes work with. Federico presented a black card from his sleeve, the logo being that of Rhodes Island. As it happens, messengers from Rhodes are getting ready to return. They'll be more than happy to bring you there for no charge. I don't want to sound grateful, but why help me all of a sudden, Mr. Federico? Uriel summoned the strength to ask. We're not exactly close, and I wasn't all that important. The angel didn't need a reason. It was a chance encounter, but only logical to help someone when it is in your ability to, and especially when there is little to lose from a simple gesture of kindness. Hi, random. We did read your fanfic earlier. Federico simply said, while I do not see myself as a saint, the sentiment of hope that title gives is important. I will be leaving now. Whatever road you choose, it will be pleasant to cross paths with you again. The black card just glimmered in the peaceful azure sky. Uriel looked to the skies, and after that, the rest was history. The doctor hummed thoughtfully. I'm not going to pry on you guys further, but I have to say, it is quite romantic. Ooh la la. Romantic? It's a very picturesque recreation of that moment. You may have a future in writing more than working here. The doctor teased a bit. In all seriousness though, I am just glad Federico finally has a normal friend. The guy doesn't look like it, but he's such a sweetheart. Uriel did recall seeing him with a feline sometimes. It was probably his ward. She did sometimes see another Sancta with a Sarkast child with them. The truth still made her heart wrench. How could they keep them alive for so long? But was the system she spent her whole life surrendering her faith towards? And but was the system she spent her whole life surrendering her faith towards, and it was all for nothing? But at least Executor was right. She needed to see more of Tara, more from her room and her office. The hope that she had felt was all but scarce, was abundant outside of La Tirana. I just had a moment where I'm like, is it Executor or Executor? I just had like a thought. I'm like, wait, did I pronounce it wrong this whole time? Yeah, enjoy the VOD. Okay, Uriel. Uriel squealed in surprise as the doctor was trying to call them. You were being like me for a while ago. That wasn't a longing face just now, huh? If it means anything, I can sympathize upon knowing everything I believed was a lie. Uriel sighed. Of course a person like them had their own demons. But seeing you guys laugh at the cafeteria, getting to funny hijinks, and being comically afraid of needles, those things will just fade away like sea foam, the doctor continued. The point is, what's important is the bonds and your impact to the people you care about. Uriel noticed the doctor stare into a turquoise crystal necklace wrapped on his wrist. After saying their piece, they left and wished her all the best with Federico. Oh, turquoise crystal necklace. Is that from like FedEx's story event? As the night falls, Uriel is walking back to her dorm, thinking back on what the doctor said and how it relates to her meeting with the man who does not care for being a saint. While I do not see myself as a saint, the sentiment of hope that title gives is important. That's in like italics. Executor didn't really take pride in his accolades. That much was certain on the field. The scant few battle records she got to look at said as much. But he does not put a lot of their faith. He does not put a lot in their faith, but he does his best for the people he works with and the people he cares about. Yet, she didn't really know if they were that close. Are they even friends? Or just simple colleagues? Sure, they have lunch break together, and she sometimes spends time with him. To point, some of her peers assume that they were a thing, but to Federico Giallo, it still isn't clear. Should she ask him? Nah, he'll probably be creeped out by me, Uriel said aloud. I assure you whatever you wish to say. I will listen attentively. I mean, yeah, that's one of your high points, Federico. Uriel all but shrieked in the dorms. How? What? Huh? Executor stood in front of her, unfazed by her outburst. I shall give you a moment to get your bearings. After a moment, Federico repeated, if you have things to ask, I shall answer to the best of my ability. Hello, R3. Hello. Uriel looked sheepishly before swallowing her fears. This isn't the best place for that. Let's go talk inside. Federico sat next to the coffee table as Uriel sat down 2 cups of tea. Funnily enough, the tea leaves were recommended to her by the sancta in front of her. A Yanni's specialty for the nerves, and knowing how skittish the woman can be sometimes, it helped a ton. Thank you for the tea, Federico said, taking a sip from his cup. What is on your mind, Uriel? After a solid moment, Uriel summoned the strength to ask him, What are we, Federico? Federico pondered a bit. I'm not surprised to be asked that. Expressionless and stoic to a fault is what some people describe me as, and sadly, they are correct in that assessment. But I do know, at the very least, what I've been doing with you is called friendship at worst. At worst? Oh, okay. At worst, don't get her wrong, Uriel assumed that something like that was her best case scenario. But there was more than that? My cousin asked me before if I was seeing you, Federico admitted. Uriel heard of her as well. The other Giallo was canonized as a saint a while ago as well. Really? Really? Virtuoso was? At first I was assuming that it was just so that they could get a rise out of me. But the more I think of it, what I have been doing is textbook dating. Huh? Uriel short-circuited. Huh? I assure you, I have never been this close to a woman before, but upon closer inspection, the word courting fits my time with you appropriately. I did not realize this, but as it stands, it does not seem wrong for me to continue. If you do not seek that kind of relationship, then Uriel panicked and said, no, 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 it's fine really. I actually think you're cool and hot and, flustered. She smacked herself. Slap my cheek. Okay. And collapsed on the couch, groaning in pain. If you like me, then please continue, Uriel muttered as she covered her face in shame. Federico for once was puzzled. He didn't really expect that, but he didn't mind it either. Since you have given me approval, then are we official? Sure, mumbled Uriel. Can you get me a blanket so I can nest in the couch in embarrassment? I will carry you to your bedroom, Federico insisted. That works. Federico left shortly after getting her ready to sleep for the night, her heart still beating loudly at the fact that she's an item with one of the most stoic faces in Rhodes. Most people didn't even think he was capable of liking someone. Still, it felt good. Great, even that her relationship was more than assured. In hindsight, someone like him willingly looking after her well-being should have been obvious. She can tell that even he didn't expect at first, but in true executor fashion, just logicked out of his feelings into something rational. Their meeting was a fluke, their relationship unconventional, and should be unexpected. But maybe that's what faith and hope really are. The law has failed them, but people can always find another to place their faith in. Federico didn't let its failure affect him. In fact, according to some, he's better off than before. Now, at least, she knows it's possible for broken faith to lead somewhere where hope resides. Ooh, dang, these are like some teasers because I haven't read the event for FedEx or anything. So this is making me excited. Let me just read this because there's an author's note at the bottom. Here you go. Author's note. The premise is literally just person 1. He gives you flowers, cooks your breakfast, and calls you sweetie. Person 2. He's just being nice. There's no way he likes me. Let's see, and then he'll say, it's a bit of a rush, but I do hope you guys enjoy this. It's a bit of a challenge to keep Executor his stoic but good-hearted self. You did an amazing job. You did a fantastic job, Mr. Word. I really enjoyed it, especially like seeing like Executor 2 like really fleshed out because I don't know much about him actually. Like I know he's like really stoic, but it's nice to see his sweet side. That was sweet. Oh my gosh, that would be me in real life, to be honest. Like someone could literally give me flowers, cook me breakfast, call me like honey or something like that, and I'd be like, nah, I think they're just being friendly. I am telling you right now, I am as dense as a brick. In fact, if like, you know, yeah, you could be as subtle as a brick to the face and I still wouldn't understand. So honestly, kind of accurate. Door person, yeah, literally, you could give me like a present, like shower me in presents, and like you could like gift me stuff all the time. You could like lean in close, you know, like brush your hand against my shoulder, and I still be like, I don't know if they like me or not. Probably not. Like, why would they? So like, because I'm kind of like that with my friends. I like gifting my friends like presents a lot. I shower my friends in gifts, and I'm also very like huggy with my friends. I'm like, dang, if someone did that to me, I'd be like, oh, that's just a friendship thing, right? Oh my, 3 years later, was he flirting with me? That would be me. I would like wake up in the middle of the night being like, wait, did that guy like me? Did I miss my shot? Oh my gosh. And if I ever liked a guy, I would never confess, ever. Never. Never. Ever. Never. Last time I confessed was in high school. And it was the most awkward confession ever. It was like, literally we were like leaving. It was like a field trip to a pool. And right before we were going like to our separate ways into the changing room, I just like quickly abruptly said, by the way, I like you. And then I ran into the change room. That was the grace of a newborn deer. I had the grace of like, what do you call them again? Like a triangle falling to the floor. Like, symbols, that's the word. I had the grace of, no, a tambourine. I had the grace of a tambourine crashing to the floor. Of course, I got ghosted. And then I got rejected on Facebook because my bestie chewed him out. It was horrible. After that, I swore, never, ever will I confess. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. I will not confess. They have to confess to me. But also, if the guy's not Christian, too bad. Sorry. I don't like anyone right now, though, so I'm chilling. I'm chilling with a single life. The only one I love right now is Phantom. But yeah, anyways. Let's continue with the next one. Next one is Junk Account. Junk Account, you were here earlier. Are you still here, Junk Account? We're reading yours now. Yeah, we're reading yours. I hope you're still here. On Facebook, reject on Facebook. And not of his own will. Because my friend forced it. Okay, so Junk Account, and the fanfic is called... Okay, I gotta copy paste this. Shadows and Secrets, an Arknights story. Ooh, I like that. Bye. Oh, not new. Bye. There we go. Ba-ba-ba. Boom. It's sad, right? I was just like, that was my one thing. Honestly, I it's funny because like, I don't even think like we would compatible. We literally just talk like in gym class. The only interaction was we talked in gym class and that was it. So I think it was just like infatuation or something like that. It wasn't like true love, you know? Yay! Thanks, Junkat. I know I'm gonna love it. Okay, let's see. Shadows and Secrets, an Arknight story. Let's go. Shadows and Secrets, an Arknight story by Junk Account. Wait a minute. Why is there a weird space in the title? Hold up. Properties. Let me just delete that empty space. There we go. Formatting needs to work. There. Are you ready? That's just a fire title. The rain fell in quiet drizzles over the grimy streets of Londoninium. Heavy fog blurring the lights emitted originium lamps into streaks of amber that fades into darkness. Inside... Oh, wait. Do I have the right version? I think... Wait, do you submit 2 versions, by the way? I need to make sure I got the right one. The second one's the right one, right? Okay, never mind. Wait. Let me check. I remember. I think... There we go. I'm seeing... Okay, wait. Got it. Inside the dimly lit Rhodes Island Auxiliary Clinic, the sanctum doctor of Rhodes Island examined the reports on the latest operator's mission. Her bright, shining halo and wings takes the edge off the harsh glare from the PRTS terminals and warmed the room. The sound of distant sirens gave way to the faint hum of medical equipment. Ooh la la. Oh yeah, Oh, I realized this means that this is the last fanfic, guys. We're gonna finish off with a bang. Junk Account, you're wrapping up the game, or you're wrapping up the stream here. Okay. Let's see. A soft knock came at the door, followed by a shadowy figure. Phantom. He moved with a purpose, almost ethereal, yet his presence demanded attention. Doctor, he said, with the same affectionate pronunciation everyone on the landship uses when they call her. His voice calm, but unreadable. I have information. Something important I need to talk to you about. The doctor glanced up, noticing the cold precision in his eyes. It wasn't just the sharpness of an operative who had seen too many conflicts. It is an expression of tension and uncertainty. You know, you could have just sent a message to the comms, the doctor replied, attempting to lighten up the unexpected visit. Phantom's gaze didn't waver. Well, this is something that requires a personal touch. Besides, he leaned slightly closer, voice lower. Some things are dangerous enough that it needs to be said in person. I'm sure once you hear me out, you'll understand the depth of the problem. Before the doctor could respond, the infirmary doors hissed open. Other operators entered, their forms familiar, yet carrying their full set of battle gear. Elysium, Silverash, Logos. Vigil has taken with him a trio of wolves waiting just outside, all their faces etched with concern. Doctor, we need you to take a look at the situation report. Ascalon and the reserved squads are in trouble on the west side of the city. Horn and Bagpipe squads are holding their own, but they can't be pulled off to help. We can't get in touch with Mudrock and Saria. W buggered off to somewhere. We have no idea where she went. Damn her. That's just so typical. We're available, but we need to go. Now. Phantom can feel his disappointment and frustration well up inside. He'd planned this talk for months. He stood in front of his rehearsal mirror and practiced what he wanted to say more times than he's done for any other performance. He went as far as asking Anya to make sure his mission schedule matches up with the doctor, just so he can catch her when she's alone, so they can have some private time together. Aw, that's kind of cute. That's kind of cute. I like that. He's even had his dream outfit brought out of the storage on the land ship, just so he would be able to make this moment perfect. With this sudden intrusion from his squad mates, everything's gone wrong. The palpable anticipation that was in the room was now replaced by a different kind of urgency. Yet, the purpose of Phantom's cryptic visit wasn't lost. The message he wanted to talk to the doctor about, that something which is very important and close to his heart, was sent and received. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad for Phantom. He's so cute. Oh my gosh. This is the steam doctor of Rhodes Island, of course. While she's not infallible, and she sometimes gets distracted, which leads to failed missions on occasion, no one else on this Terra is able to match her ability to instantly read any situation and comprehend exactly what must happen. She doesn't have the foresight abilities, the Cyclops, nor the arts necessary to slow time around her. But her mental acuity allows her to see and plot several moves ahead of everyone else. While Phantom has been stressing out and secretly mulling over how he can approach the subject for several months now, she's able to see through the fog instantly. Right then and there, she knows exactly what this is about. She knows what he wants, and she realizes she wants the same thing. Right there and then, her objective is as clear as the glowing blue boxes she marked on the map for operators during missions. Her private encounter with Phantom may be postponed, but is now inevitable. Rain starts to tap on the windows. More distant sirens go off, and the streetlights turn into emergency red strobes, illuminating Phantom's mask in the half-darkness. Their eyes meet, a silent acknowledgement that whatever path lay ahead, it would involve more than just an endless cycle of logistic planning, resource management, and then going on missions, the debriefing and short reprieve afterwards, only to repeat tediously over and over again. What must happen would pierce into the very heart that no one in Rhodes Island hadn't dared to approach ever since the doctor was brought back from Ursus. Even though Phantom has delivered the message he wanted to send, that which is beyond the words he wanted to say what he had to, can only be done in private. It couldn't possibly be in front of a bunch of people he'd have to face after day, mission after mission. He simply has to be patient for just a while longer. There's an emergency night mission that must be dealt with right now, and he and his male teammates are needed to go help the girls. The end. It's an actual Eurolux fanfic. It is! Yay! Woo! Oh my gosh, you have such a beautiful way of writing, Junk Account. I love the start with the talk about the quiet drizzles and the fog and the amber lights. So good, so good. Oh my gosh. Phantom, you wrote Phantom so endearingly. That was so adorable. I love that. Thank you. Very atmospheric. So that was the fanfic reading stream. Yeah, none of these fanfics had a kiss. None of them. That's fine. Extra say so, you know? Extra say so. Except Cyrus, yours was on the line. I'm just kidding. It was so funny. Cyrus was so hilarious. I liked all of them. Which one was your favorite, guys? Out of curiosity, while I blow my nose again. Yay, finished. Yours getting approved? Wait, where's yours, Cryo? Did you submit yours? Let me double check then. Did you submit yours? If you want, you can submit yours and I can read it too. Sorry, one, yeah. The action operator one. Okay, let me just check all of them just in case I missed any. With fan art? What? There's fan art in yours? Wait, can you submit it again? I'll read it. I'll read it. The form should still be open. I'll read it. Where was it? I don't see it. Okay, wait. I don't. I don't see it. There was a kiss? Where's there was a kiss? Yeah, submit it, submit it. I'll read it. I'll definitely read it. We have time. Okay. You definitely love romance fanfic the most to how much of a brick to the head it was. It was so chaotic. Okay, while Cryo does that, I'm just gonna get some water. So be right back, okay? And then we're gonna look at Cryo's. Okay. Be right back. Be right back. Don't leave, don't leave. We need to read this last one, okay? I need to hydrate first so I can be in optimal condition for Cryo's peak. Okay, peak fanfic. Okay, be right back, be right back. I'm back. Okay. Oh my gosh, this one comes with art. I see it. Oh my gosh, Cryos, this art. That's so funny. Let me download this. Let me download this. Oh my gosh. I need a. Okay, hold up. Let me add this. Let me add this image. I gotta show you. Like application. Image. Oh my gosh. This is so funny. Look at this. Oh my gosh. If this is the image, I'm so excited to see what the story is gonna be about. Alright. Let's put you here. Here we go. There. We're gonna add it to the art. The art right here. Gorgeous. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, now you're making me anticipate cry. This is gonna be absolute peak, isn't it? Okay, let me just change the title. So this one is called Doctor Squared, also known as Doctor Doctor. Okay, this one is Properties by Cryocross. Okay, let me see. Boom. Oh my gosh, it's 14 pages long. 14 pages? We have a lot of time. Dang, we're in for a ride, guys. You ready? It's been a while since you forgot what you wrote. Oh, I guess you're gonna relearn. Ready? Maybe that's why a mod removed it. They were like, darn the word limit. Gotta get rid of it, but no. We're gonna read it. You worked hard on this. You deserve to have it read. I'm gonna read right now. Prepare yourself. We're gonna end with a bang. Dr. Squared, also known as Dr. Doctor. Uriel Edition. Part 1. I don't remember this ending. Yato! The hooded figure with the golden halo and wings shouts, rapidly voicing commands and hand signals to her team of operators. They were at the foot of a massive portal, fighting on a snowy flower field. Muinar, Degenbrecher, Mountain, Sarya, Ines, Typhon, and Yato were in battle. Argus, in brackets, Valor Quinn, and Durnar on standby. Whilst holding command, a comm radio crackles to life with a foot from the base camp. No need to be anxious. You just need to clear the foes from here. With her quickly responding back, clutching the radio. What do you mean? I'm always nervous. The hooded figure then puts back the radio as she continues commanding and signaling her operators on the final stretch of the operations, murmuring random things like, those two should be okay, too. This is fine, this is fine. The battle is nearing its end. Aya is healing Ines as she fights her lane of enemies. Yato quickly rushes into the problematic foes. Degenbrecher and Muinar stand in wait for a command to strike, and Mountain and Sarya tag teaming against other combatants in their lane. With the final enemies drawing near to Muinar and Aya, the hooded commander signals to Muinar with her hands, and a thumbs up, pointing, and I can't really thumbs up. That's an attempt of a thumbs up, guys. Where was I? Oh yeah. Thumbs up, pointing at the foes approaching. Sighing, Muinar casually unsheaths his sword, instantaneously slashing through their bodies like soft butter. With great exultation, the hooded figure pulled back her hood and shouted, "There! That was fantastic!" The group relaxed and settled on the icy ground, the calm wind gently swishing the pink-purple flowers. Sarya and Mountain huddled together, listening to a radio intercom from Megalyn. Degenbrecher and Muinar stood menacingly at each other. Durnar reconvened with Ines and Yato to discuss details, and the sunny-haired Sancta commander had a small talk with Typhon. Argus, however, appears to have other plans. Not canon to any woman in the team? Honestly, maybe it is canon if this is IS. This is probably IS3 judged on the scenery right now. And that would be accurate because I do use women when it comes to IS. Hello, Serial Fanfics. Yeah. Hello, good afternoon. Hope you're doing well. You came just in time for our last fanfic. Slowly walking towards a starry portal, Argus, calm and resolute, states, "The foreseen future lies before me." Confused, the Sanctus stared at Argus approaching the portal, looking apprehensively back at Typhon to exchange looks. Typhon did not reciprocate, appearing frozen in anxiety, staring straight at Argus nearing the ethereal edge. She stared at the familiar sight of Argus's back, leaving her. It's a sight she's grown used to and stopped questioning, but in these few moments, she felt like it might be the last time she sees Argus. Swiftly, the Sami hunter ran towards Argus, shouting, "Argus! Don't go!" Cursing under her breath, the Sancta sprinted after the panicking Sarkas. As they slowly approached the swirling void, Argus turned around, gazing upon Typhon with a gentle smile, only declaring, "Go, my daughter whose fate is unknown. May you live in freedom." Is this a Typhon x Uriel fanfic? The ring of the portal began to spin. Its shimmering darkness begins to shift and change, with the murky shape of a being burgeoning forth. The darkness began flooding the local area, and Argus turned back to continue casting her arts to hold back the collapse, while the running pair carried on in the dark. The rest of the team could only gaze at the gleaming Sancta features in the distance as it slowly shrunk from an incandescent bulb to a flickering candle in the void. Suddenly, in the dark abyss of the collapse, a silvery light appeared right next to the Sancta. It almost appeared to be gradually galloping, whilst obscured in the darkness. The Sancta, out of breath, could only question, "What the?" With spontaneous velocity, the silvery glint grabbed the Sancta using its mouth and threw the Sancta at the bulging shadowy shapes of the portal. The sarcasm watching the doctor fly above her led to her running more fervently while screaming, "Doctor, no!" Argus looked behind her, perplexed at the sudden noises out of her view, only to see a screaming Sancta fly straight into the portal at ludicrous speed. Unable to act fast enough, she watched as the glowing sun was engulfed by the portal. The portal bellowed, almost as if it were in agony, its darkness receding, leaving only the starry portal and the panicking team of operators in the field. Next to Typhon laid a phantom plushie holding a marked piece of wood. Argus notices this and quickly rushes to see what was left by the mysterious horn piece. Reading it, she says, "We must wait." Plushie. This is the third story of the phantom plush. Accurate. Part 2. Let me drink some water. Part 2. No place like home? With a slight din, the Sancta slowly opened her eyes, vision blurred from the sudden collision to the hard ground. Appearing unscathed though, she slowly stood up, dusting herself off as she looked around her. Wreckage and old signs of war, a large mobile city nearby, large black crystals gouging the earth all around her, marred bones, the smell of rot and ruin, a leadened and gloomy sky. This is Casdell. Argus? Oh, Argus is that's Valorquin. Valorquin. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, to be honest. Argus? But she's Valorquin, yeah. Okay, where was there? Who am I? Oh yeah. The Sancta realized, slowly turning around the sights. Feeling something amiss, she felt the sides of her coat out of habit with her hand, not feeling a bulge where there would be a phantom plushie. She goes frantically checking all her pockets and around the ground. Whether it be due to the Sancta's inattention or familiarity, a person approaches and tugs the coat of the Sancta, saying, "Your clothes. Why are you wearing doctor's clothes?" Confused, the Sancta slowly looks towards the individual, and it was actually someone she knows. Kind of. Ascalon! Glad to see him so familiar. Oopsies. I thought it was a little girl for a second, so I gave her a little girl voice. Only for Ascalon to quickly rebuke. "Look, miss, your clothes are what I know, but I know for sure Doctor isn't a Sancta." Upon further inspection, Ascalon was shorter and didn't wear her usual attire. Oh wait, is she a little girl? Is she? Her skin covered in ash and grime. She wears a dirty dress with black slacks and a belt with various small scabbards holding knives. She's younger than when we first met her. Wide-eyed, the Sancta quickly began to ask, just to confirm. "Did you finish your operation with Scavenger?" Nonchalant but curious. Ascalon responds, "Who? A local scrapper?" At a loss, the Sancta paced a bit with her hands on her face. After a few seconds, she stopped, exhaled, and knelt to Ascalon's eye level. With her ready to shake hands, she introduces, "My name is Uriel. Pleasure to meet you." Ascalon would have accepted the greeting had not another person snuck up behind Uriel and struck her nape, knocking her out. Knock her out. In her rapidly losing consciousness, she was only able to hear a man's voice talking to Ascalon. "Ascalon, you should know better by now. But Teresis, this is..." Groggy and chained. Chained? Uriel wakes up on a cold stone floor, surrounded by reinforced polymer glass and metal walls. A harsh light shone from the top corner of her room, almost blinding her when she looked up. Gradually getting her bearings, she hears an unfamiliar woman's cold voice suddenly to her left. "I was wondering who this doctor is." Turning to her left, a familiar dark-hooded figure emerged from the shadows. The very clothes the Sancta wore were very familiar to the figure that stood before her. The main attire difference was a translucent undercoat dress, as Uriel's was completely opaque. "The doctor," Uriel grimaced, muttering. That's such a good detail, you're right. Mine is completely opaque because I don't want you to see my legs. I don't want you guys to see my legs. That's a bit too close for comfort, guys. I'm not wearing pants. I'm kidding. I am wearing pants underneath. Don't worry, guys. I think. Am I wearing pants underneath my doctor uniform? No, I surely. Oh my gosh, I forgot. No, I am wearing pants, right? Hold up, guys. Let me check. Am I wearing pants? Hold up. Ooh, I might not be wearing pants under that doctor uniform. That's why it's not opaque. I'm kidding. There are pants. It's probably just tucked inside my shoes. But they're opaque because I don't want you to see my legs. Okay, guys? Okay? I am indeed. For my doctor uniform. I mean, specifically for my doctor uniform. And this might be Babel era. Yeah, this might be. The more you know. Anyways, let's continue. This just couldn't get any worse. I really am going crazy. Bringing a chair nearby, the doctor sits half cross-legged, casually across from the panel of the cell the sancta was being held. She continued on with reply. Maybe a sancta impersonating me is a first. Uriel shot back saying, at least I'm not crazy enough to work with Teresa's. The doctor paused, cross-locking her hands together puzzled, staring straight at Uriel, intensely staring through her dark cowl. She continued to ask, how do you know about Ascalon, Teresa's? With a deadpan look, Uriel looked side to side, slowly but scornfully saying, because I've known them for a while? Slouching on her chair, the doctor sighs. But with Uriel's mind settling with her current state of affairs, she continued to ask. I know this might be a bit weird to ask since I'm a prisoner here, but mind if I ask some questions about you? Almost appearing to just not care, the doctor lackadaisically waves her hand towards her, replying, I'm honestly still trying to figure you out. So sure, why not? So long as I get to ask some questions about you in return, to be fair. Uriel moderately breathes in, then short-fired a series of questions with quick answers from the doctor. So I'll start. So this is it's like quick back forward. So it starts with Uriel. Uriel says, will you let me go? Nope. Worth a shot. Do you have a personnel gun? I got 2 sick Higashi katanas. Now I'm wondering if you even are a sancta. Don't get me started on my wings. Anyways, do you know Kelsit? Wow, you know her too, huh? Anyone else I should be surprised about? Well, there's Hoderer, Inez, Amia. I should assume you know everyone I know then. Yep. The doctor slouched forward, pausing for a second, afterwards continuing to ask. Do you know who Priestess is? PRTS? My god. Cross-locking her fingers, again in thought, the doctor looked down in deep thought as she sat on her chair. Uriel, streaking her fingers through her hair to fix up her slightly disheveled look, carried on asking. So, where were you born? The doctor kept her head down, still processing the new information, only responding, I'm not obliged to answer that question. After Uriel shrugs, gesturing her thumb, pointing to her chest, answering, I guess that's fine for me. I was born in Laterano. The doctor looks up from her chair slowly, only responding to Uriel continuing to yap some details about her sancta self. What? Yeah, Laterano. Although Kelsit says I am, or was, the doctor? I still consider myself as a doctor, but a lot of people were hoping for me to recover some kind of past life memory. I only learned later it was an attempt to give me a better chance at being a little more empathetic and true to myself. But you'll be bound by the law. I'm not bound by it, although I wouldn't usually do things that lead me to breaking the rules anyways. So I don't think it matters that much. Ooh, so was I originally like a human or quote-unquote something and then I turned to a sancta? And how do you know this? Uriel paused, as what she could reveal from here could have reverberations to whatever future came by. Ruminating a bit, she doesn't know if this past is hers and not just some alternate timeline. At the back of her mind, though, alternatively, sunk cost fallacy. Already deep in revealing things, right? So screw it. We ball. Supposedly, Teresa struck a deal with the law. What? The doctor was visibly angered, standing up, staring straight into the Sancta doctor's eyes. Unfortunately for the doctor, that was clearly wants to interrogate more, she received a message on her device stating something urgent was occurring. Heavily groaning with a growl, the doctor looked down at her device and back up at Uriel, promptly saying, "We'll talk later." But before she could leave, the sunny-haired doctor, with a serious countenance, pleading, said, "Wait, if it's the same Teresa I know, she believes you're a good person deep down. Don't do anything you'll regret." Uh-oh, we're gonna have a butterfly effect here. The doctor paid attention with a glance, but quickly left the room with the door slam. Whether it was by anger or in the rush, that was left uncertain. Uriel, seeing she had no means to leave, went towards a corner and slumped against it, murmuring, "Guess I'm gonna be here for a while." The one-slammed door began to creak open, however, with the Sanctus staring back up towards the doorway. Someone else was entering the room, and it was a woman with white-haired tinged pink, like Teresa's, black horns, and a sarcastic-styled white dress, gently smiling at Uriel. The imprisoned doctor could only weakly say, Teresa? With a single respectful, close-eyed nod, Teresa responds serenely, "Oh, but don't worry. I'm not here to ask much about my supposed future. Most of my questions were answered when I heard you mentioning the law." Meekly holding the back of her head with her right hand, looking down to her left, Uriel is feeling guilty just standing in her presence. During this, though, the Sarcast King went to press a combination of buttons in the room, slowly opening the reinforced glass, keeping Uriel imprisoned. The next few buttons led to chains being released. Slightly dumbfounded, Uriel looked straight at Teresa, alive and well. After the panes were fully retracted into the grooves in the floor, Teresa clasped both of the Sanctus shaking hands, letting go a revealed piece of bark with a sigil that pulsated from a neon silver glow into a starry void. Teresa proceeded to state, "Sammy's mercy truly works in wondrous ways, right? It certainly has my thanks to see you and have my resolve assured." Resolve? Resolve? So I didn't change anything? Confused, Uriel was about to ask how she knew about this, only to realize her voice wasn't coming out of her. Rather, Teresa was waving goodbye at Uriel as the Sancta began to fade from view. Before the Sancta was about to disappear, she heard the Sarcast say, "You're right about what I think of the doctor." Ooh, mysterious. Part 3. A finished loop. Despite basically gently fading out of the past, it appears Uriel has blipped into existence tens of meters up in the air. Quickly noticing the ground no longer under her feet, she quickly accelerated towards the ice fields, cursing out Sammy. "Sammy's mercy, my ah!" As the ground got closer and closer to impact, what looked like ants below her appeared to be her team of operators she was working with before being launched in the portal. Yet, with the Sancta pancake appearing to be imminent, she could only close her eyes right before the splat. Luckily, for better or for worse, Sammy was paying attention to Uriel's plight and had arrived next to her, grabbing again with his mouth, gently yanking her upwards, then descending gradually. The Sancta, however, was still screaming, "Ah!" even as the silvery horn beast hooves already touched the ground. Her team surrounds the sunny-haired individual still screaming, Durnar shouting repeatedly, trying to get her attention. "Doctor! Doctor! Doctor!" Uriel finally noticed and looked to her side, while dangling from the mouth of the large, gleaming horn beast. Relieved and deflated, she, with a thumbs up, exclaims towards the horn beast, "I never doubted you for a second." With a frustrated snort, it tamped down its right foot hoof and plopped the Sancta doctor on the snowy ground. Afterwards, it dashed at the abyssal portal as a luminous streak, once reaching it, leading to a blinding flash of light. The silvery horn beast vanished, and the portal deactivated. The returned doctor gazed around her worried team. Mountain was helping Saria take out what appeared to be a giant syringe. Typhon was hugging the phantom plushie Uriel lost earlier, and the rest were looking at her worried, but curious about what happened. The doctor stretched, then stood up from the ground, quickly remarking, "You guys would not believe what I just saw." And then there's a little note afterwards saying, from Cryo saying, "Okay, apologies. I accidentally created a plot bigger than intended." It was a good plot. It was a complete story. So now it's a little above the recommended 2,500 word count. Not to mention the original plot I was writing got derailed completely as I kept rewriting it to make it shorter. So it was more massive originally. Really? Oh my gosh. Thanks for reading. Honestly, this was a good break from dealing with CC3 Extinguished Sins. Dang! And they're just flexing. They're flexing with their 4-star team here. Let me show that. Let me show that here. Dang. Okay, let me save the image. Save the image. Let me switch this. Here we go. We're gonna add another image. There. Look at this is their flex right here. Their team. They sent a screenshot at the very end. Dang! 700? With just 4 stars. Whoa, that's really impressive. Nice. Yeah. Now it's here. Alright, let's remove that. Well, that was all the fanfics for today. Yay! I agree. Absolute cinema. Absolute cinema. I really enjoyed that. That was more of a adventure than a romance. I really enjoyed it. It was a good change of pace for sure. Today was a very fun day. Anyways, I don't know if we have enough time to do the X stages as planned. But yeah, maybe I'll do like the H stages at my own time with just like I'll just like Google like a guide like AFK guide. And then next time I stream, when it's like a dead week, then I'll stream like the H stages with my Male Knights team that time. Because yeah, I want those rewards. I want those free goodies, guys. I want them. I desire them. Top 3? Let us judge you. Oh, I can't pick, guys. I can't pick. They're all way too peak. But yes, good thing they're permanent, so we'll do that next stream if it's a dead week. Because I know Babel is having like a what's it called? Rerun? So instead of that, maybe I'll do the H stages instead. But anyways, I really enjoyed all of the stories. I hope you enjoyed it too. Every single one of them had their own charm, and all of you are so talented at writing and drawing too. But I'll see you next time. I'm gonna rest my voice. Whoa, my hand just went through my head. Scary. But yeah. But also, fun fact. This is actually like a 3D room. So like, 1 second. Let me just, so like, look at that. You can get different like angles of me. Different angles of me, you know, like a up view. Hi. You can also get like a down view. Hello. But yeah. So anyways, I feel like you don't really get to see my model that much. I usually stand in the corner with a transparent screen. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you next time. Bye bye. Now where's my exit stream? There.